Hello everyone, Josh here from Racing to Profit. As always for these videos, I'm in the excellent GG's Gold. I've had a couple of each way nibbles for interest at Goodwood. First of all, I have, it would be useful if I went on the right day, wouldn't it? Tuesday. I've had a go in the 335 and the 410. I must be mad. I've used one of my Rafe Beckett angles, which I've shared, to have a go on Rafe Beckett's Amiloc here each way, three places, maybe trying to get the two at the top of the market beaten's a bit frivolous, but I think there's some hope and expectation in the sense that he might step forward here. The yard's obviously in decent form, which you can see they do very, very well around Goodwood as well. Those stats inflated by the 150 to 1 win of Curat. And yeah, I thought, he's 4-year-old, he's unexposed as a stayer, which I like. This is his first go over 2 miles. He kind of progressed very well last season, maybe a bit flat of the curve. I'm not going to put that down to stamina as such. And yeah, he returned this season at York, where he was kind of forced to go to the front. Much of his best form has been coming from off the pace, kind of settled and coming with kind of one late run rather than being in front too long. He may well have needed that run a bit, but I don't think it played out. He was a bit keen as well. It's this run in the Hardwick, which I like. He settled at the back of the field, seemed to get a bit outpaced over this 12 furlong, but stuck his head down when switched and really did stay on powerfully to the line. Kalpana was further forward that day and obviously franked the form in the King George. This was a deep Group 2. As it turned out, and was deep going into it, and like I said, Kalpana's franked that form already, and I thought there was every chance he will be in the places, and I think he will be in the top 3 if he stays. He does have to prove his stamina. He shapes like he's well worth a go over the trip, and it could be a reason for further improvement. And I just thought at the prices, he was 10 to 1. 9 to 1. He looked of interest. Like I said, hoping both of the top 2 fail, maybe asking for too much. But yes, they've had a 40-day break, but that was one hell of a battle they had at Royal Ascot. It's not impossible that race has left a mark or won on one or both. Scandinavia just got up kind of late to win this last year. He clearly stays very well and stays further. And, whether or not he will lack some tactical speed late on around here today, we shall see. You'd have thought they'd want to get him kind of rolling early on. Trawler Man likes to make all. He doesn't have to. Again, he stays very, very well, and they will want to use that stamina. Lazy Griff, not in the class of those two necessarily, but can race prominently, and they like to put that one stamina to good use. And Illinois might be in here to make sure this is run at a proper gallop as well, and to try and upset Trawler Man potentially. It'll be interesting to see what they do with him, but he has led and added some pace before as well. So I suppose that was an interesting angle in the sense that not impossible. There's a fair bit of pace on here, and a few of these get beat up or have to get racing too far, and it does set up for something ridden a bit more patiently, which I'm hoping Beckett's will do. And they've certainly, I'd have thought, drop him out to give him, or dropping further off the pace, especially with a step up in trip. So I didn't think it impossible that he runs a massive race. Of course, he might not stay a yard and into the last 2 or 3 furlongs and drop back, and that'll be irrelevant. But I think given his running style and some of his efforts, he's bred to a few kind of 1 mile 6 horses, 1 mile 4 plus. Postpones tend to stay well and do well on that front, and Rafe generally does well when moving flat horses in distance, and does well in staying contest as well. So I thought some value against the top 2 in the market. like I said, maybe asking too much for both to get beaten, but there's potentially little reasons why. Yeah, I thought a fascinating race, and for me, I wanted him on side at 9-10 to 1 for a bit of interest. I'll skip over to this sprint handicap. I'm probably mad having a go in this. What have we got? 24 runners. I've had a go on Glamourous Breeze, actually, the 8-year-old mare. A handful of bookies playing 6 paces, plenty, or the rest paying 5. I thought it interesting. I'll just touch on the trends. You can see here 2 of the last 3 winners have actually gone to 8-year-olds. Lord Rutherford obviously won this for 3 years in a row, and kind of 3 of the last 4, including him, 7 or older. So it's certainly not hasn't been a race in recent times where you have to be a young, unexposed horse kind of on the up. I'll just click the instant expert. A fair bit of amber and green in places. I'm on flat handicaps. The last couple of years, if I go to all forms, sorry, I have looked through all the horses, and you can see a lot of their kind of handicap marks, like today's mark against their last winning mark, and plenty of them, the minus figure indicates they're above their last winning mark, and often you want to look through to see which of those are progressive or maybe coming on the back of wins and are going forward and can win again off their revised mark. I wasn't 100% sure looking through this field that there were any such types, and everything in here has some sort of question to my eyes, whether it is handicap mark. Potentially the track is new for some. If this rides on the quicker side, that's a question for others. So I thought it was tight in that sense, and in that scenario it's not impossible you want to be siding with horses where course form here can be a big positive, as can the horse arriving in form and having run well recently. If I just click the place stats, I suppose the kind of 4 from 4 and not out the places at Goodwood over this course and distance caught the eye in some okay races there. There is a class question in the sense of competing, but in 2 big fields at Ascot, or 3 big fields, has been in the top 5, which with my each way eyes on, I kind of saw as a positive. And yeah, the distance is clearly fine. Plenty of these, a few have questions at the course or have run here a couple of times and yet to place. Some running here for the first time. Some others with class questions as well. Nana Sparkle's interesting from course form perspective, provided if the ground isn't too hot, too quick. I should say the weather's not too hot and dries it out to make it too quick. I just thought on that basis, on the course form, was kind of an interesting way in. The other positives looking through, the yard form caught my eye. I've got these report angles here, kind of which are very good at kind of giving some stats boxes to kind of take a look at and dive into. But you can see Chris Mason doing very well in the last 30 days, 6 from 15, 7 places. Uses Gina Mangler a lot. She's riding well and riding well for them, 4 from 7. They had a big winner at Ascot at the weekend. Worth noting, whatever this one does, the trainers' stats with sprinters over 5 and 6 furlongs here, which is worth noting more generally. We've got the yard in form. They do well at the track, got those boxes ticked, do well with this in this sort of race. The horse herself, I won't dive through too much. There is a question of 89, and whether or not something does have a couple of pounds more in hand here, and that pays late on, but has been is having a very, very good season for me. Goodwood kind of cruised the lead and looked like the winner before. I think the lack of a run told late, but she is competitive. She rarely runs a bad race. She sticks her head down and she tries. Posted an RPR 94 there. A couple of winners came out of that. Windsor was another very good run, just headed on the line pretty much, and as was Ascot. travelled strongly, prominently, led a furlong out, whether or not got there a bit too soon, but a chance, especially in a properly run race, that Ascot Stiff 5 might just find her out late on. We're obviously back now to a fast 5 furlong, which she likes. I think the form has a solid look. Like I said, the fact she arrives in form. The other box I kind of ticked, GG speed ratings, use a licensor, kind of Peter May's speed ratings. They generally over time, the top rated, especially in 5 furlong sprints, is in profit, just backing blind at Betfair SP, which is never a bad angle or a way in, but it's got a stonking speed rating figure here, which did catch my eye in this sprint race. And that was another box that kind of was ticked for me. And the pace was interesting as well, kind of being in mid-division, in the middle in this kind of field sizes at Goodwood, it can be a positive. I mean, there is pace all over the track here. Whether or not the near side dominates these ones, high numbers up the rail, I'm not sure. And there's some pace low as well. There's some pace in the middle. Tattersall's won this a couple of years ago. Might be interesting on that basis as well. And yeah, I thought it looks like it will be a proper cavalry charge. Often when I think that, it doesn't play out. But if Glamourous Breeze can just sit off the pace, she's such a strong traveller. She's gutsy, she's hardy, and can launch a challenge in the final furlong or so. I thought she had every chance of running a monster race, giving me something to cheer. And if does obviously continue her Goodwood placed efforts, we will get an each way return, and we can live in hope that she may get her head in front. But I think it's an interesting tight handicap. There's plenty back up in class, plenty of the handicappers had a go at. Like I said, there's ground questions for the odd one, yard form for some others. Camacho's not firing fully in the last 30 days, for example. That one's first run back. Peter Fahy, Richard and Peter Fahy, sorry, trainer, father and son now, son on the license. Again, the last 30 days and 14 days, the stats have not been great for whatever reason. I did hear there's some kind of rapeseed oil fields kind of planted, and lots of pollen in the air in some of these Yorkshire stables, which is affecting some of the horses, and such of the stats makes me think that there may be something like that going on. But yeah, for example, so you know, there's everything in here has some sort of question. I've been through every horse. I think plenty have questions from their new marks or their current marks. It's not saying it's impossible for them to win from them, but it's that sort of race. I didn't think, to my eyes, famous last words, there was anything in here that may suddenly kind of burst forward and win this impressively based on recent evidence, but maybe something will prove me wrong. We shall see. Dodds does well here, yard in form, which is worth noting more generally. This horse won this race a couple of years ago. I suppose I was trying to work out on recent efforts, especially beating 3 lengths in 5th last time at Newmarket against some horses in here reopposing. I wasn't 100% sure why that one would step forward on that form, unless this has kind of been a plan of sorts, given he's won the race previously. We will see. He will add some pace down the middle as well. But at 14 to 1 with 5 or 6 places to play with, given everything I've said there, Glamourous Breeze was interesting for me of the double figure price ones, and if she can run as she has this season, I think she will be bang there and give me a very good run for my money. So they were the two for me today. As always, if you want a free GG's account, click the link below, or you can take a 30-day trial for £1 and take a deeper dive and start to become your own expert and find your own winners. And there's no better set of tools to help you do just that. But with that said, yeah, a couple of dabbles on Goodwood day one on what looks, as always, a fiendishly tricky card. Best of luck with whatever you play. But for me, yeah, a bit on Amiloc, sorry, each way, and Glamourous Breeze as well. Hopefully the Mason form can continue and she can continue in decent form as well. But yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. If you've got any comments, post them below. If you've got any fancies today or the rest of the week, do post them in the comments on YouTube as well. But yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Till the next time, this is Josh saying bye for now.